My name is Thandazani Nofinwana. I am a textile designer, fashion designer. So the concept around Verna, like my mother was saying, is I've always thought Verna was my sister, right? Literally, I thought she was my sister every time I needed to wash dishes. My mom would say, if Verna, if you don't wash the dishes, then I'm not gonna bring Verna back. And so I had to wash the dishes. And I think when I look online about this picture, it's very, people know it, because during the 90s, a lot of homes actually had this picture. So if you think of Verna, you're thinking of Pomponomponyana. I think that's before the 90s. And then you're thinking of like those ceramic dogs. So it's most of South African households actually had Verna. Not all. There are some people that have never seen this picture before. But for the most part, a lot of houses actually had it. I don't really know why my mother bought it. But yeah, I just fell in love with it. And I think it's such an important picture in my life because it's my first reference, or rather basically my first reference of what art is, like it's like my first artistic memory that I can think of. So I've always wanted to figure out, how is this made? It's like, it looks like paint, but it's not, it's not textured. So I guess obviously being the person that is very curious about a lot of things, I did a bit of research. The picture has always been there. It's a kitsch. It's like this low value, or rather something that is sort of mass produced and every home has it. That's sort of like a loose definition of a kitsch. But for me, that was quite interesting because of when we're looking around the picture now. This is around the 90s, and it's a photograph that depicts a Black child. I don't even want to say a Black South African child, because even in Zimbabwe, they speak about this particular photograph. Most of the southern Africa parts, they know the photograph. So it's very interesting in that it just spread all over. So it was quite interesting for me, to sort of relook at it now that I have some sort of a perspective in a lot of things, and I'm able now to read art, right? I'm able to look at art and be like, okay, I could look at things like the social aspect of it, And when you look at Verna, it's a baby. It's like a sad photograph with one tear, It depicts, a South African, or rather Black person, poor Black person. And for me, I decided to do an intervention for this particular collection where I sort of reimagine Verna in post-apartheid. It's like post-apartheid because, I think now we live in the world of Amapiano, we live in the world of people expressing themselves, and it's such a beautiful landscape that we're at. So the idea for me was to basically take the photograph as it is, or rather the painting as it is, do a bit of intervention in it, put the big spectacles on it, right? Like put the earrings, put the bubble gum, put the stock suite, and all of those things, they just represent, like I said, post-apartheid South Africa, and what that looks like for artists, and the material, wealth that Black people have accumulated. I'm referring to things like BEE. We have Black industrialists now. All of those, sort of things that we were able to be a part of, post-apartheid. And that's the main sort of intervention that I did. And I didn't want to completely change it. I just wanted to sort of have the same photograph as it is. I don't even know, if Verna is the artist or Verna is the photograph, because I recently found out that there's like two Vernas. There's a boy and there's a girl, right? Which is quite interesting. I didn't know that. I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. But I would assume that the name of the artist is Verna, and then the pictures are just Black kids, that he's drawn. But what's interesting is that he's drawing them in the same way, or he or she. I mean, I don't know who the artist is, and I think it reminds me of that collaboration Virgil Abloh did with, just forgot the museum, but where he took Caravaggio's paintings, which was like an Italian artist, quite controversial artist, and he put, his painting on t-shirts and hoodies. I think I see those parallels, even though I'm not really collaborating with an institution like that, but I'm rather collaborating with the rest of the people that have experienced this photograph, because all of South Africa, most of South Africa has. So there is this intervention that I'm doing where we don't know the artist, or we do know the artist. The artist is probably Verna, or the kids are Verna, the boy and the child. I mean, the girl and the boy child. So yeah, I think for me, that's why Verna is so important. It reminds me of the very first time where I could understand and see art. And naming this collection for me, I've always wanted to name something Verna, because I just think the name is just cool, and me deciding to actually use the artist's, a signature at the bottom, because the literally I just took that and digitized it, and then I use it as it is. It's that sort of thing where I'm inserting myself in the past, and I'm also highlighting these cultural nuances. So yeah, my name is Thandazani Nofingwana. I am a textile designer, fashion designer.